I know what you want. You want to see the movie.
It's so hot in here. Mm-hmm. It's so hot. And I don't... Can we do this episode in 2 parts?
No.
Why not?
Well, only until we do the sequel.
Oh my God.
No.
I don't think that I want to sit through the sequel. And, well, that's just kind of where that's at.
Why not?
Because the first one's hard enough. That's why.
Oh, God, it is moist in here.
Yeah, it's very humid. It's what I imagine hell is like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks
Sitting
like
in
hell.
a little stuffy area talking about necromantic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, there we go. Now everybody knows what movie
Well,
we
great.
saw.
Wait.
Well, great.
Well, great.
Was there a lead-in that I
Yeah,
missed?
there was. Now it's gone. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Real Obscure Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Trevino, and here with me, as always, are...
movie spoiler Nick Rock.
And Brandon Freese.
Yeah. 2 dudes who I wouldn't want to be on these hellish journeys with. Oh, well, you know what?
wouldn't
I
wanna
meant
be?
to frame that as a compliment.
Oh.
Yeah,
but-
you're really bad at that. That couldn't have been less of a compliment.
2 guys who I fucking hate.
who are fucking miserable. And I do not care for their company much at all.
2 guys who I wouldn't want to be on this journey. No, wait.
You did it. How?
Come on.
2 guys. Welcome back to 2 guys.
Couple of chuds.
There's nobody else I'd rather be on this journey with
There
but
you
you
go.
2 guys. I did
Third
it.
time
we
is the
got there.
charm
We got
again.
there. We
Papa,
got there.
I did it. So
I'm
welcome.
not applauding.
Today we watched 1986's Nekromantik, directed by Jörg Buttergeit, and I'm sure that that's wrong, and somebody's gonna say some shitty thing to me on social media about it, but that's the internet. And actually, one of the 3 of us didn't watch it. Me and Brandon
Precursor.
watched it. Don't talk over me.
You guys,
Precursor. Is it like mom and dad fighting? Stop. Precursor, I didn't watch it. In doing a little bit of research about the movie, I found out it broke one of my cinema rules that there's an actual killing of animals on screen, and Nick don't roll with that. So I took a moral sidestep on this one, but I'm here to learn about it with the audience, so I can play that role today.
Oh, and you'll learn about it.
Oh,
That's
I'm
right.
looking forward to it.
So last night we tried to watch it, and it is not the best movie to try to watch when you aren't sober. It's hard enough being sober and watching it. So
one of us, Anthony and I, watched it together, and one of us was very not sober.
Were you drinking alcohol?
I was not.
No.
I was not
was.
drinking alcohol.
I
Oh, I
drank
didn't know you
alcohol
drank. Okay.
because I'm not a fucking criminal. No,
It's California. He's not a criminal
no,
anymore.
I know.
I partook in a little bit of the jazz cabbage
my God.
because I'm a 45-year-old father.
Some of those grass cigarettes.
some of the devil's lettuce. And I had way too much, so this was a very unique experience for
So
me.
having too much of that to begin with is bad. But I imagine having too much of it and then having to watch any movie that's even remotely like this would be a nightmare.
Oh, a movie solely designed to be stressful? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's its sole purpose.
Yeah.
It is constructed to be stressful.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah, between the gross, wet imagery of the entire movie and a soundtrack that I liked, Brandon hated, makes for a miserable time, I think.
For the record, I like the soundtrack out of context of the movie. In context of the movie, it's horrifying.
That's true. That's very true. So the movie, so I'm not sure how much anyone listening to this is familiar with the movie. It's a kind of a cult classic among horror fans. And, we'll get to it, but I can see why. So the movie opens with a shot of someone urinating, and they get in the car. I believe
it's a woman urinating standing up.
Well, I don't know
Really?
why that matters.
I was going to
Because
say it was
she's
very
standing up.
Victor Salva of them, but if it's a woman, then no.
Man, wow.
What? Jeepers
Wow.
Creepers 2 is all young boys peeing in a line for like an hour and a half.
But oh man, we're going there already.
I didn't go anywhere. I just...
All right. So she gets in a car. Her and her husband have a typical stock argument. They run off the road and they crash. Right? It's a weird cold open. What we come to find out is that it's a weird like CSI-esque cold open. Because the next shot is the cleaning crew that our main character works for, and they're called Joe's Cleaning Agency. But they really seem to function more as like a coroner's office because they take the bodies with them too, and they cut them out of the car. And so I think Joe's Cleaning Agency is much more than a cleaning agency.
Right.
Well, no, I'm a little confused. It's Joe's Cleaning. Is Joe a common German name?
It has it's
Not every German is named Gunter.
I'm not saying every German is named Gunter, you racist.
Or
I'm
Jorg.
just saying, or Jorg Buttergeist, or whatever his name is.
Buttergeist.
That's
Buttergeist.
Beetlejuice's worst brother.
George.
Buttergeist.
George Buttergeist.
Don't say it again. He's going to show up and film an awful movie in your apartment.
Yeah, he's gonna do his version of Beetlejuice. It's a real weird knockoff Beetlejuice. Oh God.
Oh, that I might watch.
And the scene is basically them cleaning up this car crash. Somehow, for just getting run off the road, the woman's cut in half
Oh, yeah.
and laying in the grass. The guy's shoved back in his seat, his eyeballs laying on his cheek. And they're just kind of, it's a lot of these long kind of shots where you're real focused on the gore. And I'll say that, you know, the special effects are top notch.
Yeah, and it's also important to note that it's kind of it's low budget, so it looks almost like a documentary style, and I think that adds to kind of the realism of it.
I would agree with that. That paired with the kind of dirty synth score that permeates this whole movie, aside from the piano music, is it's really effective. So they clean up the scene, and they go back, and our main character's name is Rob, and Rob's a real weirdo. Rob's the kind of guy. Rob is like who I imagine the kid in high school was, where he's like, "Hey, do you want to come over and see my knife collection?" No, I don't.
Yep.
No, I don't, because I don't want to end up, under your bed or
Right.
something worse.
Right? Yeah, I don't want to.
Weren't we kind of that kid?
No,
No,
I
we
would
weren't.
say we were kind of weird and goofy horror nerds, but we weren't the
Yeah.
type of people, at least not in my opinion, where you would actively say uncomfortable things.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Want to see
Well,
my glass dragon collection?
"Hey man, want to see my crystal dragons and then also that knife collection? It's pretty sweet. I
Yeah.
cut my hand just because I need to feel something. My parents are never home."
I did once start reading excerpts from American Psycho to girls in my class to freak them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
A real fucking
That
theater
happened.
kid
Real
you
edgelord
are.
over here.
A real Jared Leto in our midst.
I like to be method
Good
in
God.
life.
And so Joe, wait, no, sorry,
Not Joe.
So not Joe, but Rob, who works for Joe. Joe.
The German.
I'm going to be very upset if there isn't a single Gunter in this movie. Just for the record.
You're telling me this takes place in Germany, and there's not one Gunter in
Not
here?
yet. We have Joe and Rob.
Joe, Rob, and Betty.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Betty, I could.
So Rob pockets this eyeball, takes it home to his girlfriend Betty, who's taking a bloodbath in the next scene for whatever reason. It's never even established how the blood gets there, is it? I don't think so.
Nope, she's just
And-
hanging out in a bathtub full of blood.
It's good for the pores.
And we kind of get this weird, weirdo playtime where we're cutting back between scenes and she's bathing in blood and Rob's, I don't know, playing with his weird pickled, like, body part collection because he dunks the eye in a jar and you can see that there's all these almost deflated eyeballs in it. Mm-hmm. And this kind of scene sets up, it's more of setting up who they are and how they live, which is
Couple of weirdos.
Yeah, like a couple of fucking weirdos. And it's super gross.
Yeah.
And throughout this, Rob starts watching this special on spiders, I think. I don't know, he's watching TV while she's doing more bloodbath shit. And you're going to hear me kind of say stuff like this throughout the episode because we could unpack these scenes, but in terms of visuals, they're interesting, but there's also not a lot of plot to discuss. And so as he's watching this TV special and, she's diddling around in that plasma bath, he starts fantasizing about this rabbit who's getting killed. And this is one of the reasons Nick sidestepped the movie and said he wasn't going to watch it.
This is the main reason why. What happened was I was looking up on IMDb and I saw an image of a cat. And I was like, are they going to kill a fucking cat in this movie? Which I'm not keen on fake animal cruelty, but I'll watch it. And I was reading the parental advisory or whatever on IMDb, and they said that there's a scene where they kill a rabbit for real on screen, and that's when I was out. I just can't do it.
You made the right choice. I didn't watch it either, and neither did Brandon, our roommate, who tried to... So we got 25 minutes into this movie last night and watched the rest this morning. And me and Brandon walked off and we just decided to rummage around in the kitchen. Our roommate tried to watch it, and look... I realize that somebody out there is going to say, oh, this is just real life, man. That's how you kill rabbits for food. And that's fine. That's not my thing. I'm not into it. I don't want to watch it. And I'm making a stance on that's just not something I'm interested in seeing anymore.
But I mean, if it was killed for the screen, then you're not killing it for food. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't give a shit either way. I don't want to watch it.
I don't want to watch it either way. But I don't know. I'm kind of a hypocrite because I'll watch Old Boy.
Yeah,
and there's the octopus scene, hypocrite. And if I can cite Carnosaur in the beginning credits, they have footage from a chicken slaughterhouse, which again I'm not keen on seeing. But they weren't killed for the movie, so it's a little different. I don't know.
I don't want to watch it anyway, but I think there's a very thin line. Like Cannibal Holocaust just killed those animals for the movie.
Sure,
those animals were not used for anything; they were just killed and left there.
Mm-hmm.
This shot, which still is horrible, and I didn't watch it. It looked like they found a guy who was using the fur or something for
it was
parts
like
of that animal
kill.
Yeah, the parts of that animal were going to something. It's still horrible,
right.
And again, I didn't watch it. But it looks like there was a function for that animal dying.
All right, well, I'm not here to debate the ethics of this right now.
Yeah.
So, well, excuse me, do you have something you want to say?
Nope, I'm all done.
Are you done? Can we move on?
No.
Oh, okay.
Let's just sit right
So,
here.
in this
Stop
kind of...
fighting!
This kind of goes into more of this weird autopsy imagery, right? Which then lands on a character who will become very important in the next few scenes. A gardener who's just doing his job, who happens to get shot by a guy that is, I guess, just sitting around shooting his gun off in his
He's just hanging out in his backyard in a lawn chair, pointing a gun.
As you do.
So this guy gets shot, and I think the gardener tries to dump the body, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And later on, after the body... the passage of time, the body is found and it's decayed, and they pick it up, and Rob decides, hey,
this is sexy.
This slimy ass corpse is sexy.
This is doing it for
I think
me.
I'd like to take this home. So Rob steals the corpse. He takes it to his wife, where they cut. I think it's a chair leg.
Yeah.
Off.
It's kind of hard to tell what specifically it is.
Because at first I thought it was a pipe, but now I'm trying to remember it, and I think it might have been a chair leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so they cut that off, they affix it to their new best friend, and they have a real grody threesome with it.
It looks phallic. It looks like
sure
a dick.
Does.
And they put a condom over it for her comfort, which is nice, you know.
Yeah.
It's considerate, I guess.
I mean, but it's like the one part. So this movie spends a bunch of time with people licking on this slimy ass body, and then they put the condom on the one part of the thing that had no relation to the body?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess splinters, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was more for that purpose, more for that.
More
so
for
she wouldn't
her than for the corpse, I guess. But it seems weird to me. Like, I mean, I don't know the finer points of necrophilia, but it seems like.
And if you do not call in.
We don't want to hear it.
I'll just say prank caller.
But if you're using a chair leg, then you're not really having sex with the body, are you? Then you're just Then you're just mounting a chair leg, and you could just do that in your kitchen.
I mean,
now
Yeah, but you
without a
don't have
body.
the added bonus, I think, of looking down at a corpse with a eye that's slowly sliding out of its face.
That
Could you guys
doesn't sound
imagine?
pleasant to me.
Could you guys imagine if we had like a call-in line, the calls we would get for that? Just boop. Hey, you're on air.
Hey, I got a reason why they didn't put a real dick on there.
I don't think it would be that. I think it would be like, you just don't understand.
I don't get it, man.
Sex is the closest we can get to death.
Oh god. Oh god. And then abrupt hang up.
Yep. And the three of us sitting here
No, they
stunned.
read your address and then abrupt hang up.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh god. And so yeah, they get to boning down, and
There's a lot of corpse kissing.
there's a lot of
lot of-
slimy corpse kissing, a lot of slimy eyeball sucking,
And licking.
And fun fact, that is a pig's eye,
A real pig's eye.
a real pig's eye.
And he sucks it out of the head?
Yep.
So he has a real pig eye in his mouth.
Yep.
Yep.
That's divine levels of fucking commitment. Though.
And according to a documentary we watched after we watched the movie, the guy hated doing it. As you
Well,
would.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would imagine you hate every aspect of this movie.
Do I really gotta lick this corpse again?
Why did I do this?
And so it's interesting to think about that guy who played the main character in this movie has since very much distanced himself from this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't really want anything to do with it.
I wonder why that would be.
It has nothing to do with being forced to like put a pig's eye in his mouth or that later scene we'll get to. But and so they get down, and then there's kind of like we get to see them in their refractory period.
This, out of everything in this movie, this might be the most upsetting to me. They get a huge steak and just cram it onto the stove, and it's the grossest looking thing. And they're just sitting there, in their refractory period, just hanging out eating this steak.
Yeah, they're just laying around. There's
Right.
the corpse is like the corpse is shifted off to the side of the bed so it can drain, I guess,
Yep.
because there's all these disgusting plates down there to collect all this blood and kind of.
And he looks like
Slimy
he's
human
kind of sitting
detritus.
there like just, what you guys thinking about?
What are you guys doing?
Wait, what's with the steak? They shove it on a stove?
Yeah, it's on this pan on a stove, but the pan is way too small for the steak. So they're just mashing this, barehanded mashing this raw
I
steak.
don't know why that sounds upsetting.
Oh,
but-
it's
Yeah.
on top of everything else. It's just like I said, everything in this movie is aesthetically unpleasant.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think to the movie's credit, it's supposed to be, and it's very effective.
Right.
So, following this refractory period, hey, Rob gets up. It's another day. I gotta go back to work. See you later, Mama.
Back to the grind.
Where he promptly gets super fired because they're tired of how late he is all the time, and I imagine he probably smells.
Oh yeah, before he got there, they're like, this guy's definitely fucking corpses, right?
Right. Yeah, like he has to be fucking corpses. Corpses keep going missing, and he smells like he's fucking corpses.
And he hasn't cleaned his suit in his locker for 6 months. You guys,
If he's late one more time, I'm firing him.
yeah. What, we can't fire him for stealing corpses?
Hey, you knew the risk when you took this job.
Hey, we all take things from the office. All right? We're not going to fire him for that.
Notebooks, staplers, eyeballs.
This guy just takes corpses.
This guy just takes corpses. What do you think he's doing with them? I think you know what he's doing with
I'd
them.
prefer he takes those so we have the staplers and the paper clips here in the office.
I would rather we just fire him.
2 minutes late. You're fired. Ha gotcha.
Yeah. So he's fired. Sullen Rob goes home and he tells Betty, his girlfriend, hey, I've been fired. And she fucking flips out.
Oh, she has no time for him.
No
anymore.
time for him anymore. Once she and to kind of take one step back, she's fucking reading poetry to this thing in bed
to the corpse.
to the corpse, and I am led to imagine that that's like what she does now since he brought it home. She's just reading it love poems and kind of talking to it, and so. He tells her, hey, I've been fired, and she says, oh, well, then I'm not going to date some loser.
Yeah, she immediately, like, what am I going to do? Go find a job?
He gets high-roaded by a fellow necrophiliac.
Yeah.
That is upsetting.
Yeah. I'm at a loss for words.
She is immediately out of there. She's like, hey,
Because I keep wanting to say, you draw the line at losing your job but not corpse fucking, but she's also fucking the corpse, so I don't... It's a weird set of values.
The money stopped coming in. That's the thing.
Did the money stop coming in, or the corpses stop coming in?
So is Betty just a... No, the money stopped coming because... Whoa, you know what? That's a good point. I think it's both.
She left him because he wasn't bringing home the juicy bodies.
The
for them to
literal
get
bacon.
with. Yeah. Ugh.
Slimy bacon.
Slimy bacon.
So then is Betty just a gold digger? Or a corpse digger?
A grave digger.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Oh, shit.
Wow. A bunch of assholes.
We did it, guys. Let's shut it down.
Game over. We have peaked.
Almost immediately after he gets fired, they have this cute cat that comes in, and it's like, hey, I'm a cat, and he's playing with the cat, and we're cutting back and forth.
That sounds nice.
We're cutting back. Oh, strap in. Cutting back and forth between him playing with the cat and this picture of Betty, and then all of a sudden, what is he like immediately? I didn't watch. So doesn't he shove the cat in a bag?
Yeah, it's implied he bought this cat just to kind of fill the void of Betty after she left, but he's finding that it's not doing the trick. So he simulated. Just spoiler alert: he doesn't actually kill his cat.
He doesn't.
No.
Okay, I couldn't find any confirmation. I didn't look very hard, but.
No, they don't. They don't actually kill a cat.
Okay.
But he puts the cat in a trash bag, and then just starts smashing it on the wall, smashing it on the
Jason
the
Voorhees
bed frame.
sleeping bag style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's a very Jason X moment.
Yeah.
yeah. And then we cut to him in the bathtub, completely naked, with the cat body, fake cat corpse, up above.
So
on
I don't
the rack.
think the cat killing was real.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
And little drops of blood from this cat corpse are dropping into the water, and it slowly turns into a bloodbath.
Much like what Betty was doing.
See? There are parallels in everything.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's dumb. I'm being totally honest.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Being a cat person, that's upsetting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you touching my leg? This
happening?
podcast is changing really quick.
To the audience, I can't see any of their hands right now.
I know. So he kills and it's a really, I don't know, it's a dumb scene for me. This is one of the only scenes I didn't find kind of off-putting. I found it just stupid.
Yeah, it's a lot like those scenes in more modern horror movies where it's just brutal for the sake of being brutal. Yeah. And it's like, oh, come on, guys.
After that, our buddy Rob goes to see a movie, which I think is probably one of the director's earlier short films that's playing. It's a guy chasing a woman around.
Yeah, it's at the very least, it's a movie. It's like a fake movie within a movie they shot for them.
It's a very prototypical slasher film. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what happens, but he leaves?
Yeah, I think it's implied that the killing, like actually killing someone, put him off. Like he wasn't into it. He's only into it after they're dead. Because everyone else in that theater started making out. Everyone else was into it.
Wait.
That's true. And I pointed out to Brandon that this girl is getting really hot and heavy with her boyfriend in the theater. And I asked Brandon, I don't think I'd get... I can't... Watching Necromantic last night just killed my libido in general.
Oh, yeah.
So... He leaves the movie theater, goes home, tries to commit suicide by taking these pills and drinking a bunch of booze. He has this weird kind of like fever dream where he's just kind of... I forget exactly what happens. Doesn't somebody present like he sees a woman?
Half of he wakes up in this dream inside of the trash bag, kind of like the corpse that he brought home for his girlfriend, and he like he rips his way out, and half of his face is rotted off.
Which is kind of neat.
Sure.
Imagery.
Yeah. And this woman comes up and hands him a box, and inside the box is a head. And so they like frolic through this field, tossing this head around like a ball. And
that sounds kind of adorable. If I'm
it is. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
It's a moment of levity. Yeah. Just playing head volleyball.
Yeah. And he just like I think it's supposed to be his like last memories or his last kind of thoughts as he's trying to kill himself, which doesn't actually go according to plan.
No. And he wakes up, goes out, and I think he realizes though once he goes to get the prostitute that he tries to have regular normal sex with her. And he can't get it up, so kills... Yeah.
She starts making fun of him and laughing at him.
I mean,
which is always a great idea for a prostitute to do when somebody can't get it up.
Also, yeah, but is this guy like a proto-incel then?
Yeah, he's like Robert
kinda.
Hansen.
I mean, and also important to notice or to note that he takes her to a graveyard.
Well, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you go to fuck?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I just don't talk about it.
Oh, oh boy. So yeah, it's kind of a typical moment of you're being laughed at, there's emasculation, and he kills
Like
her.
how Anthony says, it's a typical moment
You know
of a
those
woman
moments.
laughing at your broken penis.
Well, what I mean
as it happens.
is you see this in movies all the time.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the killer, it's because somebody laughed at his dick,
Yep.
and he went, no, no.
Which is sadly more realistic than you might think.
Oh, really?
No, like
Am
someone
I
like
sitting
Robert
next to a future
Hansen-
necromantic?
No, like a bunch of serial killers can't get it up. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
People like BTK and shit.
Yeah. So he strangles this prostitute to death in the graveyard, and he falls asleep, and he wakes up to a gardener that finds him, and this guy
Oh, he gets Dr.
overreacts.
Oh, boy, does he. He gets straight Dr. Hild.
Yeah, he picks up a shovel and swipes it at this gardener and cuts his head off halfway through. So it kind of looks like Bad Taste.
Yeah,
Okay.
in blood starting to spurt.
Yeah, where it's like a neck up, it's a puppet, but you have real human hands kind of grasping at nothing.
Yeah.
And it's a cool effect.
Yeah.
It's a nice little effect.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool effect. And then because he wakes up, he kills the prostitute in the cemetery, and then he wakes up and goes, "Oh fuck!" And the gardener's like, "Huh?" And then he gets his head cut in half.
Yep.
Rob runs home, and well, this is kind of like the infamous. I think probably the infamous final scene
is it, yeah.
is where Rob goes home. I think he realizes that death is the only way he can achieve orgasm, and
Let's really set the tone. Let's really ramp up to it because
Set the scene.
he grabs a knife and he kind of holds it to his stomach, but he doesn't push it in. He's just on his bed rolling around with this knife right in his stomach, kind of trying to get the nerve up to do it, to stab himself in the stomach. And then he unzips his pants. And he takes his dick out, and then he plunges the knife into his stomach, and he shoots ropes.
oh boy.
He shoots ropes.
So the actor distanced himself from this movie.
Yes,
is
he
what
did.
you're saying. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And he is just slinging that semen
Oh yeah.
everywhere. Is
it real?
no,
No,
he's
okay.
wearing no, he's not
No, the
dead.
guy didn't actually kill himself.
No, not
and then
the,
distanced himself
I
from the
meant
movie.
the coming, not
No,
the
so he's
death.
wearing one of those like extensions that you put over your
Okay.
dick when you have like a small penis.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. But
Right?
It's a
You
thing.
guys?
Validation?
And so I think they have like a tube running through it that
Yeah,
shoots
right.
the fake cum, and
Yeah.
then it starts spurting fake blood everywhere.
Yeah, after a few
and
stabs.
it's like
Goodness.
it becomes almost trauma level of how much blood cum is shooting out of this
yeah.
dick.
Yeah, it's, I mean, separated from the movie, it's kind of cool.
I don't think that that's scientifically accurate. I don't think you would start shooting fountains of blood out
So
of
they
your
didn't
dick.
do the research that the
No.
human centipede did?
Mm-mm. They did not do that legwork.
He dies. Spoiler alert.
Uh-huh.
And the final shot is his grave. I can't imagine being the cleanup crew just showing up and be like, "I fucking knew it.
I knew this guy was a creep.
I knew it. I knew the little weirdo with his weird dragon collection." It's the grave, and then a foot comes down with a shovel, and it's a healed foot with stockings. And I think we all know it's Betty. Mm-hmm. But you don't see anything else of her, and she digs the body up, which then leads into Necromantic 2, the Return of the Love. Was it
Return of the Living Dead.
Right, and I think it's all about her with his body. It's a continuation of their love story, because at the heart of Necromantic is the relationship between sex and death, and it's a romance.
Right.
At least that's what people who really love this movie believe. I don't know. I can agree with it that maybe it is. It's a love story told in a really extreme way, or it's a movie about dealing with loss in an extreme way. Is not for me. And so because Nick didn't watch it, I'll just go first. This is one of those movies that I am glad exists because it's a really good example of a filmmaker doing the movie that he wants to do and getting his own personal vision out there. I don't have to like or agree with his vision, and I definitely don't like that rabbit scene. But it's also a really upsetting movie that I don't think... I've seen it twice now, and I don't need to ever go back. Would I recommend it for people to watch? Only if you're into this type of movie. If you can stomach extreme shit and violence towards animals, I don't know why you could handle that, but or if you're just interested in kind of the more off the wall underground stuff, then you hit play at your own risk.
Right. Yeah,
Brandon?
I'm kind of on the same page. It's do your research, know what you're going to be seeing, know that there is unsimulated animal violence. It's a really gross movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's in all senses of the word, it's gross. I think it's an interesting part of movie history in that, like Anthony said, it's a director doing the movie he wanted to do just totally unapologetically. Mm-hmm. And I think that's interesting. And I think this is a movie that maybe shouldn't be... I don't know. If you're into horror, it's an important part of horror history, I think. And just do your research. Know it's a gross movie, and that's my half-hearted recommendation.
And it's weird because it seems like something that I would be very interested in watching, just because it does sound like it has substance. It sounds like it has something other than the gross out and the violence, and that there's actually a theme behind it. And like both of you said, a director making a movie that he wants to make, and I love that. Like, that's my jam, is when someone goes out and goes, I'm making this movie, this is what I'm doing, you're either on board or you're not. I like that idea, but I just wish that rabbit scene wasn't in it, because I just can't do it. I can't give it attention, because I feel it's wrong. And with that issue, I don't want to, I guess, celebrate that. I don't know. I wish I could watch it. But it also sounds really fucking gross, and I don't know if I would enjoy it. But not all movies are meant to be enjoyed, so I get that too.
I'm gonna give this movie credit in that it got a response out of me. It made me feel something. It wasn't pleasant, and I didn't enjoy it, but it made me feel. This movie stressed me out.
Well, I think some of that was your jazz cabbage, Dad.
Well, maybe, but I mean, even in the morning, it still stressed me out.
It's a stressful movie,
and I even though I didn't particularly like the movie, I still give it credit because it made me feel it made me feel something, which I think that's better than a movie that's just boring, doesn't really make you like, all right, well, that was kind of boring.
It's more effective than an Insidious type of movie.
Better than like Black Devil Doll? Because that didn't...
I would recommend this over Black Devil Doll.
Because Black Devil Doll just seemed kind of boring and didn't really bring anything out of you, but a movie like this seems like it would at least make you feel something.
Black Devil Doll was more funny bad between the parts where it's totally boring. This one...
It was insufferably boring. Like,
Necromantic is gross and oppressive and unforgiving, but it's doing something that you really haven't seen in most other movies.
It's one of the few movies like this that I'm comfortable calling art.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really? Like, I don't...
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I can't say. It's just... to me, Necromantic was always one of those pillars of, like, it's just shock for shock's sake. Or at least that's what I've prejudged it to be.
I would disagree with that.
Really?
I think that there's substance to it. It's whether or not you want to take that particular journey.
Yeah, I think there is something more to it than a human centipede. I know that's like the fourth time I've brought up human centipede.
Mm.
I don't know why. But this movie, whether or not it works for you personally, it's trying to say something and do something and make a statement about romance and relationships and stuff like that. So I think that kind of it immediately makes it more interesting to me in theory than a Black Devil doll, which is just boring.
Yeah. I think it tries to unify the idea of sex and death more in some other movies. And I like I said, you press that play button at your own risk.
Yeah, I can't stress enough, do your research.
It seems to me like if you're the type of person that's gonna watch it, you already know it. Like, you wouldn't recommend Necromantic to someone who doesn't know what the fuck Necromantic is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or without educating them first.
Right. Like
about the particular dark sides of it, which is almost the entire movie.
Yeah, and so I think that's Necromantic. Do you guys have anything else to say?
I'm never going to watch this movie again.
Yeah, fuck that. All right, y'all. So we'll be back next with what, Brandon?
Sleepaway Camp 4: The Survivor.
Oh, snap.
right.
The movie that wasn't released.
That never got finished.
Oh, boy.
That'll be interesting.
So I'm Anthony Trevino. You can reach me on Instagram at AnthonyT697, on Twitter with the same stupid handle. And don't Facebook me because I don't check it.
I'm Nick. You can't reach me on any of that garbage, but probably soon because of this thing. I kind of have to, I guess, but not yet.
And this is Brandon Fries. You could reach me at Instagram, I guess.
He never checks it.
No, shut up! At Brandon_Fries. And as always...
It's Brandon_Free619.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God,
He
you're the
knows
worst.
your Instagram better than you do.
Brandon_Free619. And as always, I'm a talking pie.
See, I feel weird about Instagram because I don't take pictures. What do you share?
Videos I edit. Anyway, bye!
Good night.
Late.